Round 6, Mondello Park. And who's going to cope best with this typically Irish weather? And is Ulsterman Jonathan Ray ready for the top step of the podium?
2 years ago, Jonathan Ray was on pole here at Mondello Park. It ended in disaster in turn 1. Will he be able to convert it this year? And gets a great start from him, and number 4 bike moves across on Kianari, his teammate, down to Honda for the first time. Honda corner then, and it is Jonathan Ray that's got a great start there. Haslam underneath Kianari, moves Kianari up the hill, and round the outside comes the stalker. It looked to me like Chris Walker got a great start as well. We look back from Jonathan Ray into the eyes of Leon Haslam. So, lap 1 of 18, the Bennett British Superbike race is underway. Hopefully a good, clean opening lap from all of these riders. If we can, it's Kianari that's in 3rd place, but Johnny Ray, looking for his first ever Bennett British Superbike win, comes off of that magnificent win that he and Kianari had in Japan a couple of weeks ago. In fact, a week ago. What am I talking about? And Kianari now looking for his first ever Superbike win. Big, tall deal for this young man, Neil McKenzie.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. On a real roll as far as his career is concerned. And just to top that off nicely would be his first British Superbike win. But Leon Haslam, he's always been strong around this racetrack.
Oh!
And he knows he can't let him get away, and he's strong in the brakes. And look at that.
Well, Haslam, it looked very calm and cool and collected when I spoke to him earlier on this morning, as did Jonathan Ray. Jonathan Ray not at all fazed by being here in Ireland, and really looked like he was, well, magnificently relaxed. I mean, if I remember back to Snetterton, he seemed very tense at Snetterton. But Jonathan Ray, of course, they've had no time on these motorcycles in the dry, just 20 minutes this morning this year. And if you go back, you can only go back to 2005. Oh, dear me, we're on with Cal Crutchlow. So, really, Cal Crutchlow getting his nose wiped. And there's Gregorio Lavia. Lavia off the 3rd row, just in front of our camera bike now. It's a Rizza Suzuki of Cal Crutchlow. Crutchlow, a little bit of a mistake, and certainly getting wiped as far as that's concerned.
So Lavia has got some work to do. You can see Carl Harris coming through.
And Lavia's
past him.
Yeah,
Lavia's on the back of Walker, and these are all getting backed up here behind Jonathan Ray. Meanwhile, Lavia's made huge inroads.
This will be a fastest lap surely for Lavia. Keep an eye out. It'll be a new lap record, I'm sure, for Lavia. Yes, it is 1:39.7.
Wow.
Well, I'm not that bright, but certainly he looked fast. So therefore, another lap record. Haslam had it a moment ago. Now it's Lavia's again. He was the recipient of the lap record back in 2005.
I can't believe the ground he made up on that last lap. He really is on the charge. Let's see if he can do some passing. He's got 4 riders in front of him. Now is when the challenge starts.
It gets harder the further up the field you get, of course, and Lavia has now got some very good riders to make it past. And he's right on the case of Walker now. And Walker's style and Walker's track position might just suit Lavia for a bit of a pass.
Or the opposite. I know some riders have said that the opposite is true. Chris does move around the track. He moves around the bike. He's not the easiest rider to pass.
Well, we'll wait and see fairly soon. Lavia, well, he's got plenty of time to sort this out. We're only on lap 5 of 18. Leon Camia, again, somebody, well, he's not going to be impressed with himself this weekend.
It's an average day for Leon Camia because he's used to running
below average,
finishing on the rostrum, very much below average, and it's a tough weekend so far for Leon.
Looking back at the other HM Plant Honda from Jonathan Ray's machine. And again, the onboard's giving you some insight into just how tight this track is. Through the left-hander now, power on, but again, only up into, 3rd gear through this section for these guys. 3rd and 2nd gear getting a good workout around this racetrack.
Certainly, everything gets a good workout. The tyre, suspension, riders, engines. It's a tough old racetrack on bikes. But amazing result there ride for Ollie Bridewell, number 46, up to 11th position, right behind Tommy Hill. So normally his brother Tommy getting the better of him, but Tommy at the moment down in 14th position.
Just behind Hudson Kenner on the Virgin Mobile Optima Loans Yamaha. Tommy Hill, the best of that bunch, up 10th place, and then Hudson Kenner in 13th place. So not a great day at the moment for Rob Max Mob.
Or even the Virgin Media Yamaha.
Oh, Virgin Media Yamaha, sorry. What do I call it? Mobile?
Mobile.
Oh, I'll get a slap for that. Rob will be here in a minute. The big burly...
Consider yourself slapped.
Okay.
Into the last corner.
I did remember the Optima Loans
Yeah,
part.
well done, well done. It is a mouthful. 0.8. Let's see if Jonathan Ray has got any closer.
Oh, he must have done. 5,
yes.
Yep. And the fastest lap going to Johnny Ray. Johnny Ray now has the lap record. Johnny Ray in 2nd place has the lap record here at Mondello Park. And I tell you, this is just going to shape up as this race goes on. We've just started half lap. We were half distance, I should say. And really, this is the point where Johnny Ray and everyone else is getting used to it. It's a question of tyres,
It's a race of two halves. Have the Dunlop shot their bolt?
Well, I don't think so. I just think it's Johnny Ray building up. This is the maturity of this young man. He might only be 20 years old, but, oh, he runs it a bit wide there, and Keogh's had an opportunity to get underneath him.
Oh.
Keogh comes to the apex, but Johnny Ray sweeps majestically across the front of him. So the Ulsterman holds him at bay. But I tell you what, there's a lot of pressure here for Jonathan Ray. He's getting it from his own teammate, and his teammate can't go to sleep either because Shane Byrne's there. Then it's Lavia on the 36 bike, right with them. This bunch. Well, this is going to be a five-man race for the finish.
Shane
Byrne
thinking about it. Nice.
up the inside in a beautiful manner.
Beautiful pass. Loads of front grip there on the Stobart Vent Axie Honda. On the brakes, turned it in. Really sweet pass.
Next up will be Lavia on Chianari. Lavia will be trying and put a few men between him and Chianari if he possibly can. That would be the best bet of the day, but at the moment, it's all changed, isn't it? Ray just put in the fastest lap of the race and a new lap record and pulls away in second place. Then we've got Shaky interfering with Chianari, and soon Chianari's got Lavia to play with as well.
I reckon Haslam has increased his gap now. I mean, Jonathan Ray a little bit wide there, Keogh nearly under him, lots going on behind them, but Haslam putting a real strong race together.
As we both go for the monitor. Haslam put his fastest lap of the race in last time, and again, another personal best, 39.6 for Haslam. Haslam getting quicker and quicker as we look at Shaky, sliding it underneath Chianari. Oh, down goes the Bridewell. Yeah,
Tommy Bridewell.
On the naturally best, that's the younger one of the two Bridewells. Tommy Bridewell, the 18 bike, has gone down then. And Ollie Bridewell, his brother, on bike 46, is still out on the racetrack, and we can see it go. Whoa, big high side. That's the most air I've seen somebody have this year.
That's massive. That's so fast there. The back end of the bike coming around, but he's unable to pick it up and get in the big bit of the tyre, and that just launched them so hard. That's 100 mile an hour, that crash rate.
It's how much he's fired into the air. The last time I saw someone that high, I think it was Carl Fogarty out in Suzuka, Going back many years.
I go back to Christian Sargent at the Nürburgring on a YZR 500 Yamaha high siding into.
Yeah, but it was almost normal for Saron.
Well, yeah, I think he beat his personal best that day as far as height goes.
That record, Shane Byrne.
Wow.
So
Shane
Byrne,
I'm not surprised.
No, you aren't surprised, and I can vouch for him as well. He's not just making it up as he goes along, because he did say before any of this race turned a wheel.
It's just panning out. It is so interesting when there is no dry testing time. There is a certain amount of guesswork goes on as far as tyres and suspension setup goes, and you just see which team does the best job. But Shane Byrne looking really strong. Not out of the question he could win this one.
Aaron Zanotti on the SMT bike has got a bit of a problem. I think he's just been in pit lane. So Aaron Zanotti, big problem for him at the moment. We'd have expected a little bit more. I seem to remember him laying down in the dirt yesterday at the hairpin. He was as through goes. Well, that's a great opportunist move there
and
from
Shane
Lavia.
Byrne underneath Jonathan Ray looks like.
So Lavia's gone through. Shane Byrne, has he made it through on Jonathan Ray? Yes, he has. Shane Byrne goes second. Well, he was the fastest man out on the racetrack. The Stobart Ventaxia bike, Ray is sideways on as he comes to the curb. Haslam still leads. Well, Shane Byrne then consolidates his positioning on the racetrack. Wow, Mackenzie, I don't know who you had communications with. For sure, we all rate Shane Byrne as a proper racer. Had an off yesterday, battered himself a little bit. He's a little bit bruised as well from a crash yesterday. But really, look at him now, it's dry. That Stobart Ventaxia bike, well, the boys are going to be going mad. Oh, that's why. He ran it out a little wide, didn't he, Jonathan Ray? Got out on the curb and just left the gap.
Although he's got good pace and good rhythm, he does seem to have made a couple of mistakes, whether it's the bike, whether it's lack of grip, but he's been wide a few times, and that's just cost him time and let riders have a look up his inside.
2/3 distance have been completed, of course, so that means if we have a safety car out now, I tell you what, this is going to be a line-up for Lavia. Lavia looking to get on there early if he can and get the drive up to the next right-hander, but I don't think even with that Ducati was able to do it. The Honda just punched out of there a little bit neater and a little bit better. 2/3 distance, I'll complete my sentence, and effectively if a safety car comes out now, they will extend the race by up to 3 laps to compensate for that. Here goes Lavia. Lavia did it in the end. Jonathan Ray drops back to 4th place now. Well, this is not the result that HM Plant Honda actually thought they were going to get, although I know they wouldn't have been presumptuous enough to think that a race win was going to be a foregone conclusion, but to be passed in the manner that they have shows that they do have a problem. Haslam really is under attack.
He's got some time, hasn't he? He's got time to look. He's 1.7 seconds in front of Lavia.
And he can turn that bike better than the Ducati seems to be turning. Yeah.
See Haslam on the rev limiter there. He rides that thing different to Lavia. He touches the rev limiter quite a lot, uses the traction control. Different rider altogether in Lavia. Well,
Leon looked round then straight into the pale blue eyes of Shane Byrne, and he couldn't have been any closer than he was as Leon looked round. So Haslam, under no illusions whatsoever, if he didn't believe he's bored, he checked for himself.
Yeah.
Lap 15 of 18, coming to the conclusion of lap 15 pretty soon. Haslam, Byrne, Lavia. Let's take a look down. Marty Nutt, an Ulsterman, leads the Superbike Cup section of this race at the moment as we watch the battle for the lead. At the moment, we daren't take our eyes off of it. McCormack, now there's a bit of a ride as well from full team. Brian McCormack on the Tag Racing Honda. Good man in second place in the Superbike Cup. And then Paul Barron, another local man who's having a great ride out as well. So Paul Barron doing the business. Last lap time, it's last lap time. Haslam on the 91 bike leads Shane Byrne on the Stobart Vent Axia Honda. So it's Airways Ducati versus Honda. Coming up behind them is Gregorio Lavia. Back marker coming into view now. That is going to be a problem, I'm almost certain. So will they catch him where he can? Losing a bit of traction there, Byrne as well. So Byrne having just a little bit of a problem now. I think it's James Buckingham that's coming into view at the moment on the 56 bike. That's the key garage machine. And really, there's nowhere here. He's going to be crossing. Oh, good man.
Yeah.
So Buckingham moves out of the way. Super style from him. And really, they'll thank him for that afterwards, because it's just a dogfight, but he needs to. And this is where Byrne is quickest on this part of the track. And he's going to, I reckon them double right-handers is where he's going to try and make a shove up the inside, because he looks so good there.
I don't know, I reckon he could be coming around that long left into the tight right.
Here we go then, through the right-hander.
I reckon it's this next section where he's got a chance, but it doesn't look like he's close enough. Right?
Feet off the footrest. This is the last lap in case you were asleep. I don't know how you did it if you were. Oh, out wide goes Haslam, and it is that double right-hander that I was talking about. It was almost Haslam giving it to him. Almost giving it to him, but now will it have lost the momentum through this right-hander, and then we're on the closing run. Haslam surely is going to take this win now. Through the left, I don't think it's over yet, though, having said that, because Byrne is biting back through this left
corner. He's thinking last corner.
Last corner is the one that it's going to have to be if Haslam can't get the power down. Oh, look at this. So through this left-hander, this is the one now. Last corner time, down to Dunlop corner, not close enough to make a force through, unless, of course, Haslam squares it up and drives it badly out of this bottom gear corner for him. To the line then, Leon Haslam will take his first win of the year from Shane Byrne. What a fantastic result for Haslam, but what a great ride from Shane Byrne. Shane Byrne coming from the second row of the grid. Lavia gets a podium from the third row of the grid too. Who is going to be fourth? Should be Johnny Ray by a mile. Johnny Ray over Chianari in fifth place, I'm sure. Chianari goes over the line. And then this big battle. Harris gets a good scalp, actually. The Hydrex Honda gets a scalp over the Bike Animal Honda. So Harris over Camia, 6th and 7th. Crutchlow, the Rizza Suzuki in 8th place. Chris Walker is beaten by his young teammate into 9th place. Tommy Hill should come through into 10th place on the Virgin Media Optima Loans Yamaha.